Hey, it is chapter 4 of the... What is she doing? It is chapter 4 of the Artist Diaries, day 4, chapter 4. We're going and we're on. And also, I just filmed I need a burp, it'll come to me when it comes to me. And I leave it, I don't clip this shit, okay? One, I don't particularly love editing. That was a good one. Oh. I don't like editing. It was like a mental block for me at one point in time, because I have other shit that I filmed that is just like me painting, making shit, talking shit, and it was just a lot of footage, and I was like, how do I condense this into... Okay, moving on. Anyway, why am I doing this right now? Okay, I'm preventing myself from talking, and I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm going to tell you something that I was afraid of. I filmed just like an intro for this. Well, it wasn't intending to be an intro, but I couldn't find the fucking page that I was looking for, so I cut it off so I could actually fucking focus my brain on looking for what I was looking for and finding what I was looking for. And when I was flipping through, I was just like nervous, because I was thinking, this is my personal journal. I ain't showing all of that of me. Do you know what I mean? And I was... See, I don't want to do it now. I don't want to do it now because I don't want any... Anyway. So, this is the new video. But today is Mercury Day. Mercury is going into retrograde at the end of this month. And... I didn't know this. So before Mercury goes into retrograde, there's like a shadow period, and you like apparently feel the effects during the shadow period before it goes into retrograde. What the fuck? And I noticed it recently, and I asked, I was like, Mercury, what's going on? And then, do you know what I said to myself? Because it's in retrograde like quarter of the year, which I also knew. But I was like, sometimes you just have to, you live and let live. Live and la vida loca. You can't just blame everything. Not blame everything, but you can't just have any fear around what's happening with the planets in general. It's just like kind of a nod sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I've noticed technology recently has been funny as fuck. So anyway, Mercury is all about communication. Wednesday is Mercury Day, and the first thing, what the fuck? Why wasn't I speaking more at the start of this video? That's weird, because the first thing I wrote here is verbal diarrhea. And the second thing I wrote here is creative communication. How does this show up? And do you know what's funny? Not funny, it's interesting, and it's interesting because it makes absolute and complete total sense, is that I haven't written anything for these two. I've just opened up to this page, and there we go. So, fuck. Verbal diarrhea. Oh, now I'm not nervous, but I'm just going to keep talking, and I am nervous because I don't know what I'm gonna say. What am I gonna say? I'm gonna move on to the next one. Creative communication. How does this show up? Creative communication. How does this show up? I'm catching myself recently in written conversations. So like when I'm sending a message to somebody, I'm catching myself if I seem to be editing it too much, and it definitely has come with writing more. The more I write, the more we do something, the more it evolves. So the more I've the more I write, and I've been writing for like hardcore for fucking like probably 2 years now, and then before that, very much on and off, and very much I'd say probably like the last year or so, I've been honing into the more creative side of the writing rather than a personal side of it or a spiritual side of it. Sullivan. Sally. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I find myself getting more, or just being like, not like, why am I editing a message to somebody so much? Like, and I was gonna say perception, but it's not really, is it? It's not really, is it? Like, oh my God, just say it, and how it's received is how it's received. Who the fuck cares? Like, who the fuck cares? When do we start overthinking? You don't do that. You actually don't do that. So I pull myself up on it. Because I'm like, but it's good to be aware of. It's good to be aware of these things, and it's good for them to come up again, which is another thing I've noticed recently, is that like when something comes up and it doesn't feel good, or you're like, I don't like that, or it's like a feeling of, I don't want to say anxiety, but almost like it could be anxiety. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because it's if it's something you're noticing as like, what the fuck is this? That means that is not a part of your natural state. So if you're noticing something that's not a part of your natural state and recognizing that it's something that was in the past, then fucking there you go. Growth. Stunning. Amazing. Oh fuck, I need a burp again. Cool. It's just the Coca Cola. And creative communication, how does this show up? It's a really good question. One, this is how it shows up. You sitting here talking to a camera, you sitting and okay. When I have recognized myself being extremely confident, it's never in regards to the content I'm speaking in a situation. It's also not necessarily, it's not who I'm speaking to in a situation. It is when I speak in a way that I'm just not thinking about a single fucking thing I'm saying, where it literally just flows out of me and it continues. And then on the other side of that, because I am very Aries strong and I have ADHD, so sometimes there is also a situation of me being super passionate, and I could be really passionate about fucking anything. I could be passionate about, what I'm actually really passionate about. Not this, but close. Okay, so I'm going to give this to you. And you're going to take it. Coke Zero, cherry. If you can get your hands on the actual cherry Coke, yes. If you can get your hands on a Dr. Pepper Zero cherry, even better. Stop right there. What you're going to do, you're going to get a glass. I don't know, I have to put that in like this. I don't know. It's just comfy. It just feels right. You're going to put it in a glass. Ice. The smaller the ice cubes, the better. What you're going to do, you're going to chop up a lemon or lime. If you've got it, I'm going to get you to do both. You're going to do both. Okay? I would say the sweet spot, you want to do Let's do half a lemon, and let's do a quarter of a lime. Squeeze, squeeze. I mean a straw if you have it as well. If you've got really small ice cubes though, then just you're gonna sip it from the glass as is. That is the best drink you will ever have in your entire fucking life. Your entire fucking life. So yeah, that is where my creative communication shows up, is in confidence. It's in confidence. My creative communication shows up in confidence, as does my creation as a whole. All of my creation shows up and shows the fuck out in confidence. Okay. Velvet diarrhea. What I'm also going to do is I do want to read something. Do I want to do that today? I wrote a poem about the river. To the river, actually. I wrote a poem to the river, at the river. Not the other day, not in chapter 1. This was like maybe 2 weeks ago when I went down there, and I was just having a fucking, not that day specifically, but like a couple of days prior, I was just having a fucking time. I was having a fucking time. I was so fucking fed up with just these circumstances surrounding my life. Like, just, it was the stagnant energy, dude. It was a stagnant fucking energy. And I hadn't been down there in a while, and I was like, do you know what? I just need to go. I need to talk to the river. I need to talk to the trees. I just need to be there. And when I tell you the release that fucking came from that, like, and just the love and connection I felt, bro, I fucking needed it. I fucking needed it. And I left the river feeling just like, oh my God, needed it. So I wanted to read you that poem, but I think I'm going to pocket it for now, and I might save that for maybe Sunday, maybe Friday, Venus Day. I'm gonna save that for Venus Day, and I think you'll like it. Obviously you'll like it, you wrote it. What I was also, okay, and then another thing that I've written today, which was just in my journal app, not written down, was finding confidence and comfortability in writing a story for somebody else. Writing a story for somebody else, not writing somebody else's story. Writing a story for somebody else. And which is awesome. Because in the book I'm writing, I speak on something about wanting every origin story to be my own first. And I just found I had a really good idea today. I had a really good one. I had a real good one come through. Real good one come through. And I had felt pieces of it before. I'd felt pieces of the story before, and I actually felt a piece of it a couple of nights ago. And the times that it's kind of presented itself to me, I've just been like, nah, that's like, I don't think I want to do that one. Like, I don't think I want to do that one. And it hit today. There was a missing piece, and today it hit. So I think that was potentially the missing piece, is just feeling comfortable in writing a story for somebody else, like completely and entirely for somebody else. I did write something. I'm gonna go find it. Actually, no, it's Mercury Day. I'm talking. And it was for somebody else okay. So I was on a break at work and I was writing it in my phone notes, and not phone notes, phone journal app. Also, do you still use your journal app, or is there something better out there now? I wonder. I love thinking about the future. I love thinking about the future in those ways. And I wrote, feeling comfortable in writing a story for somebody else with keeping in mind giving that person the story to completely alter it with their own brilliant fucking brain. And I was standing there putting that on my note, and then next to me there was a big ad poster of a brain on it, and then I can't even remember the song I was listening to, but it said Brains, and I was just like, ain't that right? So that is where we're at today, and it's been like for 16 minutes. Yeah, nice. I'm not going to talk about how I look because I am fucking beautiful, and any lick or seed of doubt that was ever planted in my past is now completely and entirely behind me, and the ones to come are the easiest I've ever overcome in my entire fucking life, and for that I am eternally grateful. So happy Mercury Day. Tomorrow is Jupiter Day, which I was just thinking about some stuff for Jupiter Day, because Jupiter's the planet of luck, expansion, learning, curiosity. I have become very in love with my natural curious nature as of the past 5 or 6 months, I think. I've been really just seeing it in a completely new light. So, yeah. Where else are you curious to expand from? What art are you making when you feel most expansive? Which is the story I was just talking about. You create when you feel most expansive. And I might talk about where I have removed the not doubt. We're gone from doubt now. I want to say feelings of inadequacy. And the way I had blocked myself in the past from that curiosity without judgment. And I think I've mentioned that previously, is curiosity without judgment is fucking huge, because that's where the block starts. As soon as you meet your curiosity with something that is telling you you're not intellectual enough, you're not smart enough, you don't know enough about this, you need, you need to read more, you need to research more, you need to do this. You learn by being curious without judgment. You learn by being curious without judgment, and that is that. And I'll always fucking tell myself that. Well, there'll be many times where I don't need to now. But you do. You learn by being curious without judgment. And it's so good. I still find myself doing it sometimes though. Not in a nasty or like self-deprecating way, but I'm aware of it. And that's the thing. That's what I was talking about before. When you're aware of the ways that you allow it to show up, which are, for me now, for you, they contribute towards your expansion. They contribute towards your evolution. Yeah. yeah. So that is it. That's going to be it for Mercury Day. And I'm very pleased with that. 20 minutes. We're done. See you tomorrow. Just before I go, another question that I wrote down today was, where do you love to create an explanation? And following everything I've just said, I love to create an explanation when it feels as good for me as it does for the person I'm creating it for, is when that explanation is shared. And that is where I'll leave it.